Fact. It's now legal in every state to marry the Chris Top program.
The Top, broadcasting live to at least 3 people on Spreaker.com.
Call of Duty, Operation Skidmark.
Sir, we have found the Russian secret weapon. They have developed an anti-shrinking ray. We are fighting giant Russians, sir. And, sir, it would seem as though they're taking giant craps on all the men. There ain't no way I'm going to ride on that across that water.
I will show you puny Americans what the true Call of Duty is.
Look, we need a chopper in here yesterday. The men are dropping like flies. Wait a minute, that was a fly. Never mind.
I love the smell of duty in the morning. Call of Duty, Operation Skidmark.
Mr. Pop.
Dorks of the world, unite. No, okay, listen closely. It's not WOBA, it's WABA.
Mr.
This is the Chris Top program, broadcasting worldwide to at least 3 people.
And I am the one and only Chris Top, broadcasting live from my lavish studio apartment here in sunny Clarksville, Tennessee, with an ocean view. How the hell are you, world? You know, this is an early show for me. I had to get up early this morning, and I didn't have a lot to do. I just had an early appointment that I had to make. At 8 o'clock I had to be there. So then I got a couple other things. I went and got my car tags. So I wasn't illegal for too long. I was supposed to have them by the end of July, by the 31st, but today's the 2nd of August. So I drove the speed limit, and I just crossed my fingers, and I hope no police officers got behind me. So I went and got my car tag, so now I'm legal once again. So I got that done. I went by the bank, and I came home, and I listened to a couple of shows on Spreaker, and I thought, well, why don't I just go ahead and broadcast? Because my plan is to go ahead and do a broadcast, maybe 2, I'm not sure yet. And then, it's a beautiful day. Oh, it's gorgeous outside. My plan is to go swimming for a couple of hours, maybe get a nap somewhere in there, because I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night. I got maybe 4 hours. I was helping a fellow DJ slash broadcaster slash air personality with a promo for her show last night, so I stayed up pretty late doing that. And matter of fact, while I'm thinking about it, let me play this promo. And in case you ever wonder, any of the music that I use for beds behind any promos that I do, intros, outros, stuff like that, it's all free for me to use, copyright-wise. There's no copyright on it. I get it through the software that I use, WavePad. So if you ever decide to use WavePad, they give you a whole sound library full of music beds that you can use. So that's what I use for any promos that I do. So all of that is A-OK, in case you ever had a question about it.
Holly Stalin's words cut like a double-edged sword. On the Edge with Holly Stalin, the fastest 30 minutes on Spreaker.com.
And that's just a quick example. That's her promo that I helped her out with. Now, if anybody wants to play their promo on my show, the only stipulation that I have is that you don't use music, that it's not copyrighted. If you do use music, make sure you have something like I have, where it's okay for me to play it, and I won't get in trouble or anything like that. So I do want to welcome my friends that are in the chat so far. We've got Love Muffin, a.k.a. Jen, in the chat. What's up, dork? Well, you know, it's just another day in paradise. I'm working on being awesome. What can I say? Nathan says, so I work 10 hours on thirds, just about to go to sleep, and I see my main man is on. What the hell is going on in here? And Nathan can say things like that because he's expressing his bro love. It's a bromance that Nathan and I have, and that makes it okay. But it is legal, Nathan. I just found this out. It is legal in every state to go ahead and marry the Chris Top program. So if you find an ordained minister, or I guess a ship captain, you can probably go ahead and hook it up with the show. And that's just a thought. I mean, if you want to do that. But you are, my friends, in the right place. This is the Chris Top program, and I'm the one and only Chris Top. And yeah, I've got my new Spreaker account, and I've got a few listeners now. I'm up to 38 or so, and my goal is to get to 100. And once I get to 100 followers, I'm going to go ahead and apply again for iHeartRadio because I've been doing consistent shows, consistent 30-minute shows, and that's what they're looking for. They're looking for primarily talk, and you've got to have at least 100 listeners or followers before you can even think about applying. So I'm well on my way to superstardom. And see, Nathan's an ordained minister, so he can go ahead and just marry himself to the Chris Top program. And I don't have a problem with that. Now, speaking of that lifestyle, if you would like to move to France, they have a strictly gay neighborhood that you can join. Now, there's the French mayor. He freaked out over a plan to build an all-gay gated community. Now, he admits that he approved plans for a British company to build a gated community. And the community originally was for 50-somethings. But he had no idea that the residents would all be gay. And this is what he says. He said, I'm flabbergasted. When was the last time you heard the word flabbergasted? If you want, use that in a sentence on my Facebook page, because maybe we can bring that word back. And that could be France's newest contribution to the world. Now, the least they could have done was to inform me so I could tell my fellow citizens. The least they could have done was to tell. So they'll probably figure it out, since the site for Le Village, and I'm guessing Le Village is French for the village. That's pretty original. It already sports a rainbow flag, and I don't think it's a gated Skittles community. According to the developers, they decided to go gay. Let's build a gated community and let's all go gay, after struggling to sell homes in other communities. And this is a quote, "I'm not doing it because I like or dislike gays," is what Danny Silver said. "This is a business proposition." And Silver says demand, okay, now these are little itty-bitty homes too. I mean, there's nothing really special about them. They look like they're a couple of rooms. I mean, I guess it's all you need. And then there's a teeny little deck on the outside, and it's got a little table and chairs. I mean, there's nothing really special about it. In the picture, they've got all these flowers, and they've got two women walking together holding hands. They got two men walking together holding hands, and then they've got a man walking by. Oh, he's not even looking at her. I don't know why. I mean, she's kind of attractive. But anyway, Silver says demand for the $300,000 houses has been pretty big. So if you're a gay man or woman and you're looking for a place to reside and you always thought about going to France, maybe you happen to have an extra $300,000 that you can spend on a smaller home, you can move into a totally gated gay community. And that's just food for thought. And some of my best friends are lesbians, so I mean, I could go and hang out. You know, I mean, I would have to, tell some of the guy, hey, look, I know that you're into me because I'm Chris Top. I get that. Gay guys dig me, they do, and I'm not sure why. I'm not even a good dresser, but they do dig me. So I'd have to be like, hey, whoa. I'm here for card night with my lesbian friends, so you're going to have to back off. Now, if you want to come play cards, that's cool. Don't be putting your hand on my knee. I mean, we can hang out. It's okay if you have a crush on me. I'm good with that. You can go shopping with me. You can help me pick out clothes, possibly. Because I like having gay guys around to help me pick out clothes. They know how to dress. They do. I don't always take their advice, and I should, because I would be a better dresser. And I've mentioned this before on the show. Pretty much what I wear, and I happen to have on jeans today. So I did take a walk on the wild side today. I've got on jeans and a t-shirt, but typically you'll see me in khakis and a t-shirt. I don't wear tennis shoes, but I've got these really nice slip-on shoes, so I'm too lazy to tie my shoes. How bad is that? I've got tennis shoes, and if I wear them, they always stay tied. So that way I can just pull them out of the closet, stick my foot in, and I'm gone, out the door. I like to keep my hair short, too, so I don't have to brush it or comb it. So typically, I'll have on my black slip-on shoes. They're like slippers I can wear anywhere. It's perfect. I've got my khakis on. I'm very leisurely. You know, back in the day, back in like the 1920s and so, they used to play tennis in khakis. So that's how leisurely khakis are. And then I'll have my t-shirt on. And if it's the winter time, well, I'll wear my khakis with my slip-on shoes, and I'll might have a sweatshirt on over my t-shirt. And that's just, and I'm not going to change. I mean, that's just who I am. I'm a very laid back, leisurely kind of guy. And I know you would have never guessed that by listening to my show, my very professionally produced show. You'd think, wow, this guy is like, he's not laid back at all. So what's going on? Gated Skittles community. Nathan liked that. I thought that was kind of cute, too. Taste the rainbow, baby. Nathan says, he's a lesbian in a man's body, aren't we all? Let's be friends. Okay, Chris, you and I need to have a talk off air about your flair for the flare. I have nothing against gay people. I like women. I love women. I mean, I think vaginas are a great thing. They were a good invention. So I don't really get into men. Now I have my best friend's a lesbian. She gives me advice. I'll see her. She's like, okay, Chris, you need to get a haircut. Chris, will you trim your nails? I've got some clippers in the car. Just will you please trim your nails? Get a haircut. So she keeps me straight, and she tells it like it is. And I can appreciate having a friend like that. I can. Now, if you're going to embezzle money, make sure you at least do it for love, because you might get away with it. Now, Imran, what a name. Imran. He's 24 years old. He should at least take his attorney out to dinner. I mean, seriously. Now, listen to this story. Imran pleaded guilty, and this was last April, to embezzling $10,000 from the Chase Bank in Columbus, Ohio. And that's a bank where he works as a teller. Now, this particular crime, I mean, when you're a bank teller, I'm assuming that if you get busted, they're going to throw the book at you. I would assume that it's not easy, even if you're on the inside, to steal money from a bank. I'm sure that if a dollar bill goes missing, they're all over somebody's butt. Well, this particular crime, it could have landed him a maximum stretch of 30 years behind bars and a fine of $1 million. Could you imagine stealing $10,000 and then you have to pay a fine of $1 million? You're like, what in the hell was I thinking? I mean, if I'm going to have to pay $1 million fine, I should have at least stole $2 million. What was I thinking? So this week he received his sentence. 1 day in prison. Yeah. So it's a maximum of 30 years behind bars and a fine of $1 million. But instead he gets a day in prison. Wow. Definitely needs to take the attorney to dinner. Now, evidently the skills of Imran's attorney, his public defender, his attorney's name is Dennis. Now, the soft sentence may have been due to why he was able to pull off the dirty deed. So he did it, or he said he did it for love. That's right. He stole the money from a cash dispenser. Are you ready? To impress his girlfriend. Hey, baby. Hey, watch this. I'm going to go over to that dispenser. I'm going to get $10,000 out. You and me, we're going out for a nice dinner. We're going to drink a little champagne. Maybe get a hotel room. Tomorrow, we're going to Disneyland. I'm just imagining how this went over. So he stole the money from a cash dispenser to impress his girlfriend. Maybe it was a crime of passion. I don't know. Now, he didn't have any priors. Reportedly, he was very remorseful. I'm sorry I stole the $10,000. I really am. I'm so sorry. I don't want to spend 30 years in prison. I'll be 54 years old. I'll be older than Kristoff by the time I get out of prison. And how am I going to make $1 million if I'm in prison for 30 years? So he was remorseful. And evidently this swayed the heart of the district judge, Michael H. Watson. So Imran also paid back the $10,000. So he did all this as a crime of passion. He did all this for love, so I'm hoping that his girlfriend should be really, really impressed at this point. And it's a good thing he wasn't in prison for 30 years. I mean, I don't know that $10,000 would keep her afloat for 30 years. So she probably wouldn't be paying conjugal visits, I would think, to Imran while he's in prison. She probably would have ran instead of. See what I did? See what I did there? Okay, so what's going on? Vagina's best invention. Well, it is a good invention. I mean, I was listening to Mobster Boss Radio the other day, and if we didn't have vaginas, I mean, imagine where guys would stick their thing. It would be horrible. I mean, you'd have guys getting their thing stuck in toasters and in faucets in the bathtub. We would just stick that stuff anywhere if we didn't have a designated spot. So we have to have designated areas to put our stuff. Otherwise, we're just lost. I could only imagine how horrible that kind of a world would be.
Mr. Pop.
Dorks of the world, unite. No, okay, listen closely. It's not WOBA, it's WABA.
Mr. Pop.
And I am the one and only Chris Top from the Chris Top program, taking that milk money back one nickel at a time. Okay, so this is the deal. The future of my show is in your hands. I mean, if you're like me, you grew up reading those little books where you got to choose the destiny of Superman or Batman or whatever kind of book you're reading. And again, if you're like me, dude died a lot in the book. But the destiny of the Chris Top program is pretty much in your hands. And I need 100 followers. Also, not only that, but I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what sort of skits or what sort of production you want back on this show. Is there something you're missing? Do you miss 300 seconds on the couch? Do you miss whatever I did what did I do? I don't even know what I did. I spent 2 years doing it, hundreds and hundreds of hours of work, and I couldn't tell you nothing. So you probably know the show better than I do. So if there's something that you want back, you're going to have to let me know on the Facebook page. And Facebook, I think, is the most important form of social media that we have. So let me know on there, first and foremost. You can tweet to me, you can stumble with me, you can tumble with me, and there's so many things you can do, but don't leave any comments for me on Reddit. I will not answer them. Not because I don't want to, but just because they banned me from responding to any comments. Not that I did anything bad, they just evidently don't like the Chris Top program. I'm not going to lose much sleep over that because I already do too much stuff anyway. So I'm okay with that. I really am. I'm okay with that. Do you want to talk about maggots? I know that's not something that I should probably bring up around lunchtime. Right now, all the guys over at Google are spitting out their bologna sandwiches. They're like, he just said maggots. It's lunchtime. What? Can we listen to something else? Is Rush Limbaugh on? Okay, so we're going to talk about maggots. This could blow your mind, or you might just blow chunks. I'm not sure. Now, if you think maggots are about as smart as a bag of hammers, well, science is about to impress you. They think. Evidently, they have little maggot brains. Now, when it comes to where they want to eat, they think like we do. Now people generally like to go and eat where there's other people. They say that crowds draw crowds. And me, I like to go off the beaten path. I like the little subtle, in the corner, not too many people around situation. So I wouldn't make a good maggot. I really wouldn't. But crowds traditionally draw crowds. So I mean, if there's a big crowd, lots of cars in the parking lot, outside of a restaurant, then you're going to think to yourself, oh, well, that must be a great place to eat. I don't mind standing in line for 10 or 15 minutes or an hour. It's ridiculous if you spend over an hour waiting to eat somewhere. That's why I love having like Monday nights off or Tuesday nights off or Sunday nights, just because you want to go to the movies, bam, you're in and out. You want to go out and eat? No wait over here. You can go to the nicest place in town. There's no wait on Monday night. You go on Friday night, you're lucky to get in within 2 hours. You know, one of my best trips ever to Universal Studios in Florida. I went to Islands of Adventure. The best ride ever. And this was a while back. This was when my kids were pretty small. So, I mean, there could be a better ride now, but I doubt it. Best ride ever. Spider-Man ride. Oh, man, that impressed me. It impressed the hell out of me. The Hulk coaster was cool, too. You know how most roller coasters, you get in the coaster and it starts out ching, 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 and then it like takes it like rips your heart out of your chest when it goes down. Well, the Hulk ride starts out at like 60 miles an hour. And it never does go slow. It's just, okay, you go through the whole ride, and then you stop where you started, and then you finally are able to get your intestines back when you catch back up. So, I mean, it's a fun ride. You know, you check Biggest Movers on Twitter anytime, and you're going to see Megan Fox or Kate Upton in the list. I don't know what they've done. I have no idea, but you click on it, and it's just them in bikinis. Last week it was Kate Upton, this week it's Megan Fox. Okay, back to maggots. So they generally like to dine where other people people like to dine where other people dine. Whether it's McDonald's or maybe it's your favorite steakhouse, I don't know. And there's a new study, and I love these studies because they're always legit, I think. Especially the ones out of Canada. This is out of Canada from McMaster's University. Here at McMaster's University, we're going to take on a very important topic. Today, we are going to study maggots, the eating habits of maggots, and we're going to compare them to human beings. Not just any human being, but to Canadians. So, at McMaster's University, they revealed that the fruit fly maggot will choose to chow down where their maggot friends have eaten, or where they're eating. And they'll choose to do this over finding a new spot. So yeah, they got little teeny maggot brains. So maggots detect the scent of other maggots. You know, I don't know about you, but if I'm going somewhere to eat and I detect the scent of someone, I'm not going to sit beside them. I'm not going to sit at the same table with somebody if I detect the scent. But evidently maggots are okay with that. So this signals that the food is good at this place, and this means that maggots, who have about 3,000 neurons, and we've got them beat in neurons, whatever the hell that is, as opposed to humans who have 10 billion neurons. That's like last night when I was telling you the difference between SHU, is that what it was? The scale for how hot something is? Like the Tabasco sauce was anywhere between 3,500 and 5,000, and then you've got the ghost peppers that's at, what was it, 1 million or something stupid like that? Why would you eat that? You know, go back and listen to last night. You'll see what I'm talking about. But make that, okay, so we have 10 billion neurons as opposed to the maggots' 3,000 neurons. So when you've only got 3,000 neurons, it makes it a little bit easier for studying. So I guess that's why McMaster's University decided not to study the eating habits of people. They decided to use maggots because, well, there was less connect the dots, I'm thinking. Now, I have something to ask you. I have a favor to ask you guys. I had such a good time last night telling the stories, like the true life stories, and I've been doing that for a few days now. So I need to know, when I do another show today, and I'll do another show today, I'm going to go swimming, but when I do another show, what do you want? Do you want something that's maybe a little on the sad side, kind of girly? It's like, I listened to the Chris Top program, and it was like watching The Notebook all over again. It was like watching the Titanic. She let him go, that bitch. Or do you want something inspirational? That's right, little Timmy. You run and you jump over that hurdle. You can do. Ooh, ouch. Okay, so somebody get little Timmy a Band-Aid. He can do this. Okay, get up, Timmy. Get up. Get back on your feet. Okay, brush yourself off. Okay, here, let's wipe that blood off. That's okay. Don't pass out, Timmy. Okay, now here, put this ice. Hold this ice on your head. Now, this time I want you to run, and I want you to actually jump over the. Ooh. Okay, somebody call 911 really quick. Okay, so do you want it to be? Do you want it to be inspirational? Do you want it to be a tearjerker, or do you want it to be comedy? Of course, my strong suit is comedy, but if you keep picking comedy, you're not going to know the softer side of the top. You're not going to peel back any more layers. You're not going to dig deep within my soul, within the bowels of Chris Top. Not that you would want to do that. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good place to eat. I really don't. Mr. Mappy is on fire is in the chat, and I did get your Skype message, Mr. Mappy. I couldn't tell you what it said at this point, but it popped up on the screen, so I saw, Mr. Mappy is trying to get in touch with me. I'm ran from Iran after he walked into Eid. That's Mr. Pothead. But Mr. Mappy is not on fire. It's good to see you in the chat. So, the destiny of my show is in your hands. What production are you missing? What do you want to hear come back? Maybe you have some suggestions for some new stuff. I'm a very talented individual when it comes to audio, so give me some challenges. If you want to hear me do something, then by all means, ask me, and I'll give it the best dork shot I can. I mean, I'm going to try whatever you want. I mean, it may not be good, but I'll try it. Old production, you want that to come back? Do you want to choose my destiny? Do you want to let me know what you want from me, like as far as what kind of story you want to hear? Because I'm using this new show as an opportunity to reintroduce myself to the Spreaker community. And I feel like I have to do that for the first few episodes just because you need to know who I am. You need to know what I'm about. I mean, you know the WABA stuff. You know the working on being awesome stuff. You know I'm the self-proclaimed leader of all dorks. You know this. But there are more sides to Chris Top, and I feel like in order for me to be your friend, we have to peel back those layers. We have to figure out who I am before you're going to let me into your car, before you're going to let me into your kitchen or into your living room or into your bedroom, baby. And I'm talking to Nathan. So you have to know who I am, especially if we're not going to use protection, which that is stupid. Okay, we should always use protection. I don't care who you are. So make sure you follow me on Facebook. Make sure you tweet with me, tumble with me, stumble with me. Don't Reddit with me. Now, if you're in the chat and you do a show here on Spreaker, make sure you type the word show into the chat right now and you spread that Spreaker love. Click on them if they type the word show. If you don't like the show when you follow them, unfollow them. You don't have to listen. Just give them at least one opportunity to impress you. And if they don't, they just don't. Maybe they can't help it. Maybe they don't have any talent. I don't know. I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to help. And remember, when people ask me how I'm doing, I say I'm working on being awesome. Just because I don't think I'm ever going to get there, but it's definitely worth working on, and that's for sure. I do not, and I'll give you a follow, Mr. Mappy is on fire. I do not, nor will I ever, take any of you for granted. Because there are a million other things that I could be doing, or that you could be doing. I could be doing a million other things too, now that I mention it. But there are a million other things that you could be doing, but you choose to listen to me. And that makes me feel pretty damn good. It really does. So, until I broadcast again, please remember this. Life is good, and I'm gone.
You have been exposed to the Chris Top program. Tune in next, yeah,
I don't have a schedule.
right.